No, I says to him, I don't care if you ain't got time for any of that poxy animation. It's still free good anyway. Nobody wants it. But if you ain't got time, you still putting my bit in. I've come all the way from the camp, see, and I'm doing my bit. And I said, if you don't let me, I'm going to crump you right now. So anyway, he ran away, didn't he? So here I am, yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready when you are.
God.
Yeah. Yeah, right, yeah, no, okay. What's my motivation again? Frustration at the lads. Okay, yeah. Thank you, right. Thanks to them word boys, there's too many zogging squigs around the camp, and I've already eaten enough of them today. You boys need to figure out what we've got to be doing with all these red gits before the mad runt-herd boss finds out they've been eating all this supercrots. I've got to make plans for the war, so get to it before I start crumping you lot too.
God.
Welcome back to Here We Go, our regular article series on what the galaxy has to look forward to as the latest war rapidly approaches. As you may remember from back when we first met them, the Beast Snaggers have found many ingenious ways to use squigs in their everyday lives, and some of them don't even involve biting. With the Beast Snaggers army box we saw during Warhammer Fest Online, just over the horizon, we're taking a look at some of the other uses they found for the ornery red monsters. Blowing things up! Bomb squigs, in addition to being a right laugh according to most orcs, are an effective way of ensuring a payload of high explosives gets somewhere close to the enemy before exploding. Often herded alongside mobs of squig boys and piloted by a particularly unfortunate Gretchen, these smart weapons are remarkably accurate by orc standards and never fail to make a pleasingly loud bang when the bomb goes off. Headbutting things. Being the violent, brutal creatures that they are, Beast Snagger knobs often like to modify their squig mounts to increase the damage they do while barreling into the enemy. This led to the creation of the Smasher Squig, a monster so outstandingly brainless that it takes an orc of rare caliber to even herd the thing in the right direction. Their thick skulls and remarkable resistance to concussions make them excellent candidates for smashing headlong into enemy troops, augmented by the thick sheets of metal that are often crudely bolted to their heads. Seen better. Few orcs care about whether or not their shooting actually hits their target, so long as the gun makes sufficient noise and looks flashy. For those who have heard of words like accuracy, however, several ingenious solutions are on hand to give them an edge over their enthusiastic but ineffective comrades. One of the more common is a targeting squig, hardwired with the wonders of orc science to make its master something approaching a passable shot. It almost looks like a squig has been left to aim and fire the gun itself, doesn't it? It must take a particularly important kind of beast snagger to secure such a complex device, and you'll find out exactly who they are very soon. Holding stuff. We're not quite sure what the doc keeps in their squig drip, but it can't be pleasant. Given how the orc approach to medicine generally entails stapling wounds together with whatever scrap is lying about, the long-suffering painbosses that follow hordes of beast snaggers around are just as likely to have hooked it up there for a quick snack as for any medical purpose. They do still manage to be effective battlefield surgeons, however, so we're sure they know what they're doing. Pulling things! Squigs can get rather big, as anyone unlucky enough to be on the receiving end of a squigoth charge can attest. Some of the larger kinds make perfect beasts of burden, with the brute strength necessary to tow large war engines into battle. What exactly are these contraptions? You'll just have to wait a little bit longer to find out. That's all we have time for today, as the boys are getting fidgety and it looks like everything's about to kick off soon. You'll get your first taste of the oncoming war with the Beast Snaggers Army Box, including early access to the full Codex Orks, arriving for pre-order this month. Join us on Saturday for our next Warhammer preview online, which is taking us on a decidedly orky flavour as we find out what's been brewing in the Ork Terrier sector. Goodbye!
Hello, Sydney here, and welcome to the Drunken Ork. So, we've got some more news today, didn't we? 5 ways to use squigs which aren't just biting. So, that's quite interesting. So, I thought we'd have a look at the 5 ways and see if we can find any more little tidbits which might be sort of hidden within it. So, first of all, the bomb squig. Once per turn, when a unit with a bomb squig is selected to shoot or fire Overwatch, if it has any bomb squigs remaining, the unit can release one. When it does so, you can select one enemy unit, excluding aircraft, that is within 12 inches of the unit with a bomb squig. When firing Overwatch, this must be the charging unit. And roll 1d6, adding 1 to the result if the enemy unit is a vehicle. On a 3+, that enemy unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. The number of bomb squigs the unit is equipped with is then reduced by 1. You can't use the same one twice. Fair enough. Now that differs to normal bomb squigs with the tank busters, at least as we know them now, quite a bit. For one at a time. You can't be releasing multiple bomb squigs. 2, hits on 3s, not 2s. Although you do get the +1 if it's a vehicle, which is, puts it back on level. I don't know I believe you get rerolls with bomb squigs if you miss against vehicles. So it's still, even a vehicle, it's still not quite as good as the current bomb squigs. However, I know bomb squigs have got like strength 8 and -2 AP, but with these bomb squigs, there's no need to roll a wound. There's no need for armor saves, especially invul saves and what have you. You just straight up do D3 mortal wounds, as opposed to the D6 you do with a normal bomb squig if you wounded and they failed to save. I don't know which is better, to be fair. They're just different. But with these ones, when you do an Overwatch, you're still hitting on 3+, 2+ against vehicles with Overwatch. That's pretty good. It does stipulate that the range is 12 inches. Obviously, that's 6 inches less than the current 18-inch range. But it does stipulate that if you're using them in Overwatch, then you've got to fire at the charging unit. So it's making a stipulation about when you're using Overwatch, but then just doesn't mention it at all when it says what you hit on. So I think that's like a good deterrent. That you charge a unit of Squig Hog boys with, character or something like that, 3 up, they're getting D3 mortal wounds. That's pretty tasty. Yeah. And of course, although you can only use one at a time, we don't know how many are going to be in the actual unit itself. 1 for every 5 again, something like that. But we don't know. But no, I think that looks all right. That looks all right. I would like to see this being the Squig Hog Boy bomb squig and still keep the Tank Buster bomb squig we've currently got, because I do quite like them. I'm quite partial. But anyway, yeah, Moth. Bomb squigs. Yep, that's all right. Number 2, Ed Button Things. Smasher Ed. Each time this model finishes a charge move or heroic intervention move, select one enemy unit that is within engagement range of this model and roll 5d6. For each result of 4+, that enemy unit suffers 1 mortal wound. Not bad. Again, what's that? 5d6, so on average, 2.5 mortal wounds. Yeah, not to be sniffed at. If you roll lucky, you could be doing 5 mortal wounds. It's not totally impossible to do 5 mortal wounds, 4 or 5 mortal wounds there. Like, it's also not totally impossible to do 1 or none. But yeah, if you do all right, that could be quite effective, that. Not quite like that. That's pretty straightforward, that one. Next one, Seeing Better. So this is basically the targeting squig. Now this is going to give the orc a little bit of bump to his ballistic skill, +1 probably. Now I've got a little picture for targeting squig with a little gun. It does look like he's shooting the gun himself, but he's not. And he's also next to a horn, some fur, and what looks like a top knot. But whose? We'll find out soon. We'll find out Saturday. That's the Bone Boss. Pound to a penny, that's the Bone Boss. I mean, we've seen it as much in the picture of the Bone Boss. He's got the target squig up on his shoulder and what have you. That's him. So he is definitely coming. And coming, well, in their words, very soon. So, yeah, Saturday. So that's nice. Then we've got holding stuff. And it's all... Now, I had a little bit of a problem with this one, because it says holding stuff, and it's not for holding stuff. It drip... Well, no, a drip is for holding stuff, isn't it? It holds, whatever you put in the drip. Oh yeah, fair enough, and I'm over it. I forgive you, GW. Basically, with the squig being used as a drip, or, like a juice box or something, I suppose. But the main thing, of course, is there's a picture of the Painboss. Now, double take, that's not the Painboss I know, because the Painboss I know has got a different head and a different bionic arm. The 2 biggest complaints I've heard about the Painboss, and it's probably split 80-20. 80% of the complaints is, I don't like his head, and 20% is, I don't like his claw. Right? Fair enough. I didn't like the head at first, although I've come round on it, because it's a lot like one of the old 90s Painboy heads. And the claw, I quite liked it, just like a straightforward pincer. I quite liked that. But having seen this, that is a much better head. And that is a pretty cool claw. It actually looks a bit like a shark or something. To me, anyway. Don't know if that's intentional or, you know, it's just like me staring at clouds. Oh, is that no Legmans? You know what I mean? It doesn't really mean anything. I really do much prefer our Painboy. Do you know what it is? He just looks savage. He looks absolutely savage. Whereas the last one didn't. And I think it's because he just had literally a blank expression. He was just a sheet of metal. Blank eyes, blank face. He does look terrifying. That looks awesome.
And of course, it does speak to a certain amount of options when putting these together. Maybe not just for the Painboss.
I'm really liking the Painboss now. And that's just a very, very intricate little claw thing he's got going on there with sharkiness. Yeah, big fan of that. Well done with holding stuff. And number 5, pulling things. Not teeth or birds. But Squigs can get rather big. And yeah, well, I mean, look at it. It goes on to say how they can use them as draft animals, basically. But look at the picture. I mean, to be honest with you, if they just released that, you'd be going, oh, somebody's got a spiky knee pad. Or is that Magnus and his titty horns, like during puberty or something? You don't know what they are. But knowing it's called pulling things, we're looking at a big, gnarly looking Squig with an horn. I think exactly like it was in the video, basically. And what's he going to be pulling? Well, we'll just have to wait a little bit longer to find out. It's a tower. It's got to be a tower, isn't it? It looks pretty cool, to be fair, from what I can see. I mean, from what I've seen in the picture, anyway. I mean, this, you can't get nothing from this. It is just a line. I mean, to be honest with you, if that zoomed out and it was fucking part of the coastline around Wales, I would just go, all right, yeah, fair enough, yeah. I'll see it now. You know, you cannot tell. But yeah, that's pulling things. The Wizard's Tower's coming soon. And then you've got a little bit at the bottom, basically saying that it's going to be available for pre-order, the Codex that is, along with the Snaggas Army box later this month, which is good news that they've actually said. I don't know if they've actually said that, or they've just hinted at it, but it's good to see it written down. And yeah, Saturday, our next Warhammer preview online, with a decidedly orky flavour. I don't know what the orky flavour is going to be. I'm guessing Painboss, Tower, all the bits we've just seen. There's also been talk of Kill Team 2 with Orks, and I've been hearing with Death Guard Krieg, which is, you know, that's pretty good. Excuse me. I'll be honest with you, if they release them in plastic, I'm going to have to start another faction. Just a little mini hobby faction. You know, just a distraction now and again. You know, I want to paint gas masks, get a long coat. Then, you know, not like a takeover or anything. But yeah, that'll be interesting to see that. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this now because I don't want to go on too long, and I'm going to have to make another one of these in a few days after the Saturday preview. So that's my Saturday night taken care of. Thanks, GW. Not that I can get out anywhere. And until next time, take care. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.